Taste my fury. This
Attack.
is going very quick.
A solid plan. Oh!
Hold on, not dealing with this. Jesus Christ.
This doesn't fit me at all.
Let us be
Oh,
careful.
that did the wrong thing, but that's fine. The tower, it's destroyed and I'm afraid. The disk of the eclipse, that must be it, but how do we... Ashara, it's such a wonderful day, and what of you? Nice to see you again, Kanara. Let me guess, my sweet sister couldn't hold her tongue. She broke the god's orders and revealed our secret. To tell you the truth, I was sure all of this would come out sooner or later, but it's nice to know I wasn't the fool who let it slip. Tell me, Archara, didn't we say goodbye in a luxurious banquet hall and rest off the day you received your barony? And now we're sitting alone on top of a cliff in some backwater surrounded by slimy, flesh-eating toads and other revolting monsters. I don't even know which questions to ask first, why or how. I guess I'm a baroness of many talents. I thought palace halls and parades were the proper entertainment for nobility. But rock climbing isn't too bad either. Your sister asked me to find an artifact. Artifact doesn't have to be the disc of the clip, does it? Of course it is. It was I who told you about it first. But I imagine it was us cozy by the fire in your castle while servants went off to collect it. But oh well, an adventure it is then. It seems our treasure has been stolen by that ugly gargoyle. So what are we supposed to do now? We freed some water elementals who seem friendly. They'll help us defeat the gargoyle. So let's them fight instead of us, right? So we can stand back and watch? No, we want to abandon them. You know what, I will. Right, let them work for their freedom. Even if they die, we'll easily be able to finish off a weakened gargoyle. I like your way of thinking. Very well, call forth your water friends. Yeah, I ain't got the potions, I'm sorry. Just out here giving them lives. And we're having some quality time. Now we fight.
I am ready. Taste my fury.
The road awaits.
Watch each other.
That was easy.
I feel tired.
that save going. Let's see what we have here. Detect magic. Examine the magic. Examine it. Kanara, I sensed something strange, as if someone was right here before us and did something to the disc. Someone was here before us, found traces of the artifact, and didn't take it. So strange. But we aren't going to use the disc right now anyway, are we? We'll take it back to the capital and examine it there. Take the disc. Black, white, bound, split, and divisible. Are you alright? What? Amazing, I didn't expect this. Listen, the artifact didn't just disappear. I can feel it's like a part of me now, and I think I know how to use it. Archara? What just happened? I was sleeping in the demi-plane, but this time I wasn't pulled out like usual. I heard a voice, Kanara's voice. Kanara and I recovered the disc of the eclipse, and it affected her in a strange way. So what I felt and heard was the influence of the disc, but it's so strange. Yes, I understand now. Hello again. Are we still here in Sorrowfell? My sweet sister learned how to use the new ability so quickly. I sure would take her a year. I'm gonna try to switch us again. Please tell her she's a foolish girl. I'm back again. I heard my sister calling me. I felt it inside, just like my bond to the elemental forces. Now we can switch places whenever we wish. Your sister asked me to tell you to give a nice big hug to the wonderful Baroness who helped you so much. Really? I could if you're comfortable with it. I'm perfectly comfortable. You're joking, aren't you? So you can switch whenever you want to. Yes. Oh, there are so many thoughts in my head. Is it a miracle we found such a rare artifact that help us? Perhaps Neth has planned this all along. And what should we do with this new gift? Now me and my sister must decide. My sister and I must divide the time we share. Yes, I'll think about all of this and many other things. But for now, I wish to thank you, Archara. Before an outcast gratitude means anything to you, you have it. And one more thing. I'd like to remain in your lands and help you with your quests and travels. Now that we can better control our switches, we won't have to keep running from one place to another. I think Kanara will support my idea. What do you say? You'll be most welcome. May this be the beginning of a wonderful journey. Alright, now let's get the fuck out of here. She said she liked money. Maybe she'll be my treasurer.
The path.
I need to catch my breath.
Yes, we can rest now. And now we go right back. I'll come visit you later, my friend.
I feel tired.
We should gather our strength.
That's something we'll do later when we got the BP.
I'll go ahead.
And then I'm gonna go talk to Kalikke. Look who it is. If it isn't Baroness or Thelf, I thought us gentlefolk didn't hang around their subject. I thought gentlefolk didn't hang around their subject's home. Forgive him, your grace. He's got a big mouth. So big that when someone comes to visit, his tongue enters first, and then talks rubbish for a few minutes before the rest of his head shows up. These two are trying to say that your visit is a great honor for us. How can we help you? Don't say that we can't. There are many things we can do. Just try us. Tell me about yourself anytime. Yes. There's nothing else. We have a lot of stories. Ask and we'll tell you anything. How's life here for you? Everything is so strange here. The ground is cold. The trees are so green it hurts to look at them. And even the sky is strange. It's like we're in another world. We find something new every day. It's great. It's a shame it's so cold all the time though. But then again, it keeps changing. Snow, rain, whirlwind, storms, lightning. After all that, a rainbow. And the people here in Kadura, everyone's face is either servile or arrogant. Everyone is looking for someone to bow down to or look or down. It's so different here. Everyone is their own master, even the bandits on the high road. Of course, they'll take your boots off you, but with respect from one free person to another. Thank you for your answers. Ask away. How did you find about the eclipse? Well, that's the same story. We were walking at night in complete darkness to an empty moonlit barren. We got lost, stumbled into a scary thicket, but then we saw light ahead in a witch's house. We went inside, said we were dummies who couldn't watch our tongues and threw us out, and the Disc of Eclipse, we found that by accident. The peddler talked us on the road and just gave us an ancient chronicle where we read about. We accidentally used the chronicle for kindling, but we remembered everything. I have to go. Thanks for stopping by. Anything, just whistle. Who are you to each other? Us there caught by a huge rock. I was so picky, only fed tieflings to its nestling, so we met in its nest, but we escaped. Yes, the bird chased us through all of Kalash, asking us in return to the treasures we took from its nest. He even tried to sue us, but the judge didn't speak birdish. Why'd you leave Kadira? It's all because of the cult of the Dawnflower, the ones who serenade for the scimitar she holds in her hand, not for her kindness and mercy. They look at any tiefling like a hound looks at its prey. Like, you know, like we can see what's inside you, you're just waiting to do some evil. So, well, we gathered secretly with other tieflings and genie offspring to discuss how life is not so good for us in Kadira. Now we could change everything, and they decided we're conspirators. Archara won't tell you this, she's modest like that, but she's the one who saved us from the raid. She ran to us and fought off the cold soldiers so we could get away. The forces of nature have given her quite some power. If it wasn't for her, I don't know what would happen. How do you know Kalikke? Our elder, she's the best. You know her for many years, though we didn't know she was a tiefling like us. One time, we prepared a lot of different sweets and wanted to sell them. We were sitting on the street, and they don't let you into the market without a fee, and there we were, boys and girls, in a wonderful dress, obviously rich and noble. And with them, an Emberkin so beautiful, she wanted to buy some sweets from us, but her friend scoffed at us and took her away, and it was Kalikke. She was only pretending to be an SMR, using an illusion. Nikki fell in love right away. What are you looking at? It's the truth. Well, she found us later and brought her sweets. She started to keep an eye on us. Thank you. I have to go. Yep. Let me go upstairs and see if there's any more dialogue.
The path is
What
clear.
happens if I re-enter the house? Because I feel like there's more dialogue with her. That just can't be it, right? There we go. Did you see that? My sister has all 3 of her empty-headed friends right in our tail. They used to follow her around in Kadira. They know us both very well. Couldn't we just send them away somewhere? Oh my lord. I want to ask you a few questions about your past. That's reasonable. Who want to know about their subjects and their companions? Tell me the story of you and your sisters from the beginning. The beginning of the story is quite unexciting. My sister and I were born in Kadira, a place most unsuitable for tieflings. The people there honor the radiant Serenade and think of themselves as guardians of good. Of course, no one threw us in a dungeon right away or tried to kill us for no reason. But we could not forget about the social status. It's impossible to rise from rags in the country, where they value connections, reputation more than gold. Since birth, they looked on us like evil creatures. Not entirely false. But what's the truth generally speaking? What's the truth generally speaking? I've always known what I was worth and what a lot I deserved. If superstitions stand in the way of achieving a goal, there's no reason to shed a tear. Better use those same superstitions to your own end, I must say. In Kadira, they idolize the SMRs almost passionately as they hate tieflings, so I thought with a little effort I could pass as one, and my mastery of fire could be mistaken as a sign of Serenity's goodwill. Of course, a masquerade of that sophistication required a little outside help, and I found it. I made a contract with a sorrowful devil who calls himself the Forefather. He wove an illusion of me over me and my sister, hiding our tiefling features for everyone. I hope this doesn't shock you. It's not that I wanted to bind myself to a powerful and devious creature, but what choice did I have? To watch bulls at the caravansary until the end of my days? That wouldn't just be a waste of priceless gem that I am. I'd be burdened with caring for Kalikke, that naive walking virtue, who was totally unfit for a hard life. No one is inherently good or evil, only our intentions are. Wise words, if only there were more in this world who think as you do. Anyway, it's all in the past now. What was the agreement you made? I'd have to spend the whole evening telling you the details. Contracts require thoughtfulness and accuracy, especially ones like this. But to put it simply, I was to do as he commanded. In return, he granted me a powerful illusion, which would make me and my sister indistinguishable from Emberkin, descendants of Perry. The contract included a number of caveats and limitations. In particular, the task this devil would give me could do me no harm. The contract didn't involve my soul. On the contrary, it bound me until my death, but no longer. What assignments did it give you? You'd be amazed. They included fighting evil. The forefathers come from a line of apostate devils or Daima-Vigas. They live for only one goal, to turn people's souls away from serving any god but Asmodeus. Our Demiviga made a nest for himself in Kadira, long ago, finding special pleasures in enslaving servants of Sereny. Nothing helps turn souls away from a faith better than fanatics of the faith. You have no idea, Archara, how often a zealot servant of the good in their struggle against evil has pushed others in the arms of that very same evil. That's why the forefathers sent me to serve the followers of the cult of the Dawnflower. Unlike the Church of the Serene, these cults celebrate the goddess more for her warrior aspect than for her mercy. My duties included seeking out secret cults of demons and daemon worshippers, and other springs of evil in the sun-swept land of Kadira, real or imaginary. Questions, suspicions, public trials, 1 or 2 exemplary executions, and fear sank its claws into the hearts of the weak and doubtful. How can a good goddess allow this? What if I'm next? Those who entertain such doubts would soon hear a knock on their door from a messenger of hell, offering a simple solution, protection and prosperity in return for their souls. That's how I aided the legions of hell, by working under Sereny's sunny banner. What was it like living disguised as an Aasimar? We lived for a few years under this disguise, gaining a certain status, affluence, crowds of gullible suitors. In time, I found a patron among the followers of the cult of the Dawnflower, a man of great wealth, with a personal army of mercenaries who roamed the lands of Kadira night and day, seeking out monsters and those who worship them. I quickly became his confidant and joined the army, all as the forefather desired. Perhaps this is why the devil agreed to give us the appearance of Aasimars. Everything was going perfectly, but then Kalikke, that silly child, got herself mixed up with a band of tiefling renegades who were too cowardly and stupid to achieve anything in their lives. They organized something like a secret society and gathered in the evenings in their hut. They spoke of opening everyone's eyes, making them treat the outcasts with dignity. Sooner or later, they would have done something stupid and gotten themselves caught. And my sister brought my sister down with them, so I helped them a little, put my patrons' people on their track. If only I kept Kalikke from her foolishness. One night on the raid, for some reason I told her the truth. I thought I could explain it to her that her actions were threatening our secret. She could not. But nothing works out as planned. She hurried off to warn her friends, and it fell into the hands of the cold Dawnflower. Her disguise was unmasked, and with it my own as well. In sand skies, I can imagine my rage my noble patron felt. His Aasimar confidant turned out to be a treacherous tiefling. I had no interest in learning how far he'd go into his rage, and immediately set off and flee. Alas, as soon as they found out what happened, the remaining members of the cult of daemon worshippers, who I'd once helped disperse, quickly tracked me down. They summoned a soul eater who'd cut my life short. Tell me about how you were resurrected. You'd better ask Kalikke that. When she learned of my death, she pleaded to Nethys, the god of unparalleled powers, and his herald to agree to return me to life. But in the state we are now, only one of us can be on the material plane at a time. Meanwhile, the other sleeps. What happened at Jamandi's mansion? You know the fun part of our story? When Nethys returned me to life, the poor hungry soul eater started following my trail again. He cannot discover me so long as I disguise as KotC, but he keeps trying. That's one reason why my sister and I never stayed in one place for long. We moved north, living here and there until we reached Restov. Lady Jamandi's offering was simply too tempting. Bring some other bandits to heal and receive a barony in return. Of course, KotC could never be a baroness, but the adventure itself was an intriguing opportunity. Besides, I was in desperate need of distraction, so I showed up at the reception, made some valuable connections. I witnessed the attack of an unlucky assassins, then unfortunately missed out on all the fun. The moment I ran through the fire at the mansion, I was carried away to the demi-plane, and Kalikke came forth to deal with the consequences. I found out what I wanted, thank you. I want to know more about you. Of course, many do. How does it work? You're living in turns. By the power of Nethys, my sister and I cannot meet For as soon as one of us appears in the material plane, the other is immediately spirited away to our demi-plane. There we sleep until it's time to switch back. The demi-plane, by the way. Oh, I gotta drink some water, hold on. There's a lot of reading and my throat's getting sore from all of it. Alright. It's a pity this ability came after we paid such a heavy price. I would have avoided my painful death, and I longed to see my sister again, and cinch her hair to show her my gratitude for everything. The demi-plane nourishes us and keeps us away from all kinds of trouble. But the price, it's hard to live and make plans when at any moment you could be pulled from reality, only return a few days later, or even weeks. I'm glad, thanks to you, we now have at least learned to We are born if our ancestors laid with a powerful or even an evil outsider, be it a devil or demon or some other dark creature. Many mortals do this, believe me, either for power or for pleasure. This heritage can be hidden for many generations and can manifest in many ways. It's difficult to find two similar siblings. Which outsider do you and your sister descend from? From a devil. I can even guess which one. Of all infernal beings and worships in Kadira, the Whore Queen Mahathala is the most venerated, secretly of course. Servants of her court frequent these lands, and they leave trails. So the horns of the tail. Bold. Tell me about Kadira. Kadira is a part of the Padasha Empire of Kalesh, a great thriving state. Don't think me rude, but the northern states are but a pale shadow of my homeland. Only Taldor at its height can compete with us. Though it's long lost its power, my land is wealthy, powerful, and full of opportunities for anyone cunning enough to seize them. It's a pity they are all devoted to Serenade, and the whole array of superstitions that go along with it. Look at your golden-haired priest boy, and you'll see at once exactly what makes living a deer so unbearable. Don't you think the disk of Eclipse has reacted strangely? Maybe. My sister and I tried to figure out exactly what happened, but failed. We don't need a real specialist. We need a real specialist for this sort of magic. A specialist like I can't even imagine. I can definitely say the disk had been destroyed. It seems to have become part of my connection with my sister, helping us move between the material plane and our demi-plane. We'll continue to explore this new ability. Maybe we'll learn more at some point. What made you stay after we found the relic? Fair question. You see, there's an important detail about how I died and returned to life. I was killed by a repulsive creature called a Soul Eater. After a spellcaster aims at his victim, the wretch will chase it tirelessly and endlessly. But when I was returned to life, the Soul Eater lost its prey, but it's still chasing me. And it might show up at any time. It would be much easier for me if I could meet it here, surrounded by experienced monster hunters, ready to protect a poor fugitive from danger. I won't let anyone hurt you. We'll deal with those beasts as they show up. I like your confidence. I have a penchant for the strong. Alright. I'm looking at a guide for this romance, because romance in this game, games like this, you have to do everything right, or else you don't get it. I'd like to talk to your sister. What that stiff? Very well. I'll get her. So great, I get to ask these all questions again. I'd like to ask a few questions about your past. Ask me anything, we owe you much, and being open with you is the least I can do to repay you. Tell me the story of you and your sister from the beginning. Me and my sister were born in Kadira, the country. Okay, yeah. They like ASMRs, yep. But it was not entirely to hide our essence. Past every kid in class for help. Yep. I made you flee. Trouble. My sister and I took different paths. Kinnear was able to earn trust of a powerful patron. His mercenaries hunted down cults. I found a group of castaways who reminded me of my sister and I as children. Tiefling and genie spawn. We gathered in secret to share our sorrows. Time passed, we gathered, became more bitter, we yearned to prove monster blood doesn't make us monsters. We spoke of how we should unite and enter the great games of Kadirian aristocracy, supporting those who were ready to accept us as equals and bring down their opponents. One evening, my sister came to me full of grace. Yep, she told, we already learned at the moment. But I also realized Canaro was ready to sacrifice any number of innocent lives. Wanted to join the expedition, and then suddenly I was thrown into reality in the middle of a burning mansion with assassins dashing about, and the Sword Lord fighting monsters in the Grind Hall. Kadara and I usually keep a diary to tell each other in detail what happened during the day, but I didn't exactly have time to read it, and I doubt she had time to write anything during the attack. I ran into the hall and tried to help Germonti, and then you and your companions appeared. We helped the attack, and you and Totushi began accusing each other. Meanwhile, I still couldn't understand what was happening, or where I was. I had to pretend to trust both sides of your argument, or I might have given myself away. You had me racking my brain. The girl shows up acting like she wants to be my friend, and next moment turns her nose up, like she's seeing me for the first time. Then you can imagine what it's like for us. People approach me all the time and start talking like they're my friends, and then I just stand there trying to remember lines from the diary. Is it the gnome with blue hair, a new admirer who has twice given me flowers, or the gnome banker who wishes to invest investments? I was living in turns. Yep. Found out what I wanted. Look at how you are now. Do you worship Nethys? Tell me about him. I called him at the moment of my greatest need and through his herald helped me. When all kind of merciful gods fell silent, I am no naive worshiper of the gods, especially when are powerful and unpredictable. Besides, he hardly is interested in my gratitude. But I do honor those who help me. Who's your savior? The Archonigathine? Nethys' herald is his creation, and she's a living role in a magical energy, an amazing and powerful creature. She often takes interest in the business of mortals and manifests Nethys' will. In our case, I think she's done both. The Archonithine wanted to intervene and help, but she also told us that Nethys was aware of what happened. It's so strange to think that Derry turned his eye on us. Tell me about your sister. My sister and I are twins, but we are different as night as day. She's named Kanara, the Silent Flame. In our tribe's language, I'm Kalikke, the Silent Storm. Kanara was born a few minutes before me. I suppose she just elbowed me out of the way in our mother's womb to be the firstborn. Being the first, that's what she always craved. I never felt offended by it, though. Whenever the storm clouds gathered above our heads, heralding danger and trouble, my sister walked forward one step ahead. Found out what I wanted. I want to talk to you about what it means to be a tiefling. Oh, I could tell you a lot. I have no more questions. Tell me about Gadira. Yep, bunch of sands. I'm good. I'd like to talk to your sister. As you wish. Would you like to spend some time together? You do realize sooner or later you and I will just burn this house to the ground in the heat of passion. And then the entire capital. Look, we have a noble guest, but come to think of it, it's us who are the guests of the Baroness. Anyway, it's a great honor. Let's see if you can... Let's see if you can complete my task. Order us to collect moon from the sky and we'll do anything. The gnarl marches, they're overgrown, they need to be wetted. I still can't get used to these swamps everywhere. When I was little, I just thought that marches and seas and glaciers were all just stories made up by travelers. But here you just leave the city walls and you're up to your knees in real swamp. It's fantastic. Do you really think Her Grace wants us to tell us about her lands? Why not? The swamps here are oh so juicy, green, and blooming. And the mosquitoes whistle day and night. The Pandesha himself would envy you. Alright, enough talk. It's time we got work to do. They run away.
Tread lightly.
They're gone.
Let us be careful.
Alright, I'm gonna try something real quick. There's gonna be a cut here. Okay, well, I'm not gonna cut because it happened first try. Still half asleep, you slip in your gear and suddenly you hear an angry snap of a tail against the bedpost. Looking up, you lock eyes with clearly glowing and embarrassed. Archara, you and Kanara, we suddenly switched and die. Could you please get dressed faster? You know, a baroness. It's not polite to kick me out when we're in my dominions. If I throw water on you, it would be considered high treason. We accidentally switched places in our sleep. I almost fell on top of you when I came out of the portal. We never had such a silly switch before. You almost fell on me? Now that's something I wouldn't mind. You know, with Kanara, you know what? Kanara is enough for you. Of course, my sister usually shares everything with me. Oh, what am I saying? That's it. Goodbye, your Actually, let's talk to my companions real quick. Greetings, everything is well, I hope? Okay, you have nothing new. Harm, you got any new shit? Ah, it's you. Did I startle you? I'm sorry. Oh, it doesn't matter. I was just contemplating the futility of existence and the worthlessness of the universe. The way Grotus is great. My humble mortal mind can't fully grasp them, but I do what I can. We'll talk later. Hope that's not where I meant to go. Got any good news? The tavern's here. It's time to see who's in the, that's not the tavern. Where the fuck's the tavern? Oh, all the way over here. Alright, I guess. Greetings, noble ruler of these lands. My name is Arcino. I'm a messenger from the Temple of Abadar and Absalom. I came here assuming you're citizens of a young baron who could use the services of a priest. I'm glad to meet another person marked by celestial blood here. I could use the help of a cleric. That's precisely why I'm here. Oh, well. Okay, well.
The path is clear.
Thankfully, I got to walk through that alley.
Let's head out.
Hey Chief, what's on your mind? So if you've proven yourself to be a mighty warrior, I may have. The trial is finished, and if someone ever doubt me, I prove it. So I'm the chieftain of your new tribe. What do you expect from me? Tribe must always have plenty of food, tough enemies. Not some easies come. Tribe's fighters must be challenged the strongest enemies. Also, you must rule the tribe, make big decisions. So why'd you leave your tribe with SWTOR the Frost Giants? I told you they were assholes. Okay. It's nice of you to stop by. I'm Lena, the innkeeper. Tell me about yourself. I'm very happy to, Your Grace. I'd love to talk, especially about myself. Where are you from? I hail from the Ring of Kingdoms, Artum to be precise. I'm running from a farming family. Like just about everyone from around here. There's more forest lands and pastures there than anywhere else in the River Kingdom, except for maybe the Seven Arches. The folks who grew crops 10 cattle are well respected there. But at the same time, you live in constant danger. There are too many bad people, too lazy to work all day. What made you decide to be an innkeeper? I was bored, please don't get me wrong. I was fine at my father's farm. I got nothing but respect. But back in our country, you could go half a year without seeing a new face. No news, no nothing. I've dreamed of working at it since I was a child. That's the kind of place where a lot of guests and stories. Thank you. We'll talk again. Come back soon. Anyone else here? Nope. Okay. We'll go back to the kingdom, make some decisions. Let us manage the kingdom. New merchants have arrived in my kingdom. Thank you. Oh, I didn't mean to leave immediately. Oh. The refill. Is everything built? I only got 32 BP, so I don't really think I need walls and all that shit yet. We shall do this. So I just lost a shit ton. Unknown troublemakers are sparing the people to rebel against their rulers. The general failed to stop the rebellion. The victory was won, but at a cost. Damn. The rumors surrounding the bald hilltop proved true. The barren aves and flooded with monstrous spiders attacked the locals and slaughtered the cattle. Reports indicate the huge... Hold on. Okay, I gotta go back, because I thought I had like 20 days to do that. Okay, we got a new merchant. We can now put Kalikke in. How long do I got for this? Okay, 20 days and 14 hours. Okay, this takes 14 days. Alright, we got new merchants, and now we can put Kalikke in, or Kanera as our advisor. gonna skip a day. A mysterious cult promising idleness and debauchery has emerged in the region. This deprivation must be stopped. Pros of cooperation. 3 merchants from Absalon arrived in the region. They're ready to do business with the barony if their conditions are met. This area of the barony is said to be a breeding ground for bandits, brawlers, and cutthroats. Perhaps one of your advisors could handle it. Unknown troublemakers are spraying up. Our guards and soldiers made the capturing this case before the region descended into full rebellion. Nice. Your Grace, I fear there's another matter that requires your attention. There have been reports, many of them, from settlements across the North Marches. Alright, sorry. Your Grace, I fear there's another matter that requires your attention. There are reports, many of them, from settlements across the North Marches. There are trolls in the forest, seemingly hordes of them. Rumors claim they're more than typical savage beasts. They almost seem to show reason and tactics. They form, attack all at once, plunder the villages, and carry away the peasants. Even stranger, kobolds have been spotted among their ranks, when usually they would be attacked on sight. I'm not certain any of this is reliable. Fear builds mountains of molehills. Some of the rumors even say the trolls carry the torches and burn down houses, seemingly unafraid of open flames. It's entirely possible the rest of the reports could be exaggerated as well. The common folk will hardly heed any simple exhortation. Someone will need to go to the Normarches and investigate the matter. I was considering the matter when it hit me. What if you were to take the investigation up yourself, Your Grace? Baroness's duty to his people. I'll look up into the situation. Thank you, Your Grace. When you decide to go, please remember that trolls won't be told to fire or acid.
Trolls who didn't fear fire? That sounded terrible, and dangerous, and terribly dangerous. If we couldn't rein them in, our young barony would be eaten up in a snap.
All right, let me... Current James and Sean, the Baroness's slumbers. She sees valiant heroes entering an ancient ruins to descend underground, never to return. Their faces show stern resolve, their lips pinched thin. The irony red sun follows the heroes into the darkness, scattering its fleeting evening rays upon them just before waking. The Baroness hears a faint whisper, "Come to me, hero. I wait you in the tenebrous depths." Alright, let's get to our kingdom affairs. New merchants, nice. Let's get Kalikke or Kanira in as our advisor. Let us throw our support with Tristan. Huge 8-legged spiders contend a multiple what? -1, -1, -1, so -3. Oh. The hilltop thing is popping off. Nice, we reached loyalty rank 2. Our guards managed to handle business, nice. What events we got? Definitely, the rumors surrounding the hilltop proved true. The barony had been flooded with monstrous spiders attacking the locals and slaughtering the cattle. Reports indicate the huge arachnid spiders spread ghastly disease that weakens the victims with fever and coats their blood with blisters. This invasion has to be stopped before panic and infection ravage. Alright, yep, we'll do that. Troll invasion. Oops, we gotta go to the throne room for that. A mysterious cult has appeared in the region. This deprivation must be stopped. +3 community. 3 merchants from Absalom arrived in the region. They're ready to do business with the barony. Their conditions are met. News has arrived from the largest observatory in the 5 kingdoms. The enchanted lens of the main telescope broke. The destruction of such a powerful artifact has caused a gust of ancient wind, which is now moving towards the region of the barony. You should seize the opportunity. 3 econ. Troubled lands. Okay. What's community at? We'll leave that for now. Econ. I want that. They're ready to do business. Send you. This area of the barony is said to be a breeding ground for bandits, brawlers, and cutthroats. Perhaps one of your advisors could set aside these rumors and ensure the people the guard is able to protect them. I will. A mysterious cult prompting idleness and debauchery has emerged in the region. This deprivation must be stopped. The rumors surrounding the bald hilltop route, the barony's been flooded with monstrous spiders attacking locals. Yep. Ancient curse. Let me save, and then we'll talk to old mate. Your Grace, I fear there's another matter that requires attention. There have been reports, many of them, from the settlements across the Nara marches. There are trolls in the forest, seemingly hordes of them. The rumors claim they're more than the typical savage beasts. They almost seem to show reason and tactics. They form groups, attack all at once, plunder villages, and carry away the peasants, even stranger. Kobolds have been spotted amongst their ranks. Whereas they usually would be attacked on sight. I'm not certain if any of this is reliable. We are built mountains of molehills. Some of the rumors even say these trolls carry torches and burn down houses, seemingly unafraid of open flames. It's entirely possible the rest of these reports could be exaggerated as well. The common folk will hardly heed any simple exhortation. Someone will need to go to the Nara marches to investigate this matter. I was considering the matter when it hit me. What if you were to take the investigation yourself, Your Grace? It's a baroness's duty to her people. I'll head south and look into the situation. Thank you, Your Grace. When you decide to go, please remember that trolls can only be killed with fire or acid.
Trolls who didn't fear fire? That sounded terrible, and dangerous, and terribly dangerous. If we couldn't rein them in, our young barony would be eaten up in a snap.
Alright, let's do a save here. Let's skip a single day. The rumors rumors surrounding Bald Up to Puchu, the barony has been flooded with monstrous spiders attacking the locals, slaughtering the cattle. Reports indicated that the huge arachnid spiders had ghastly diseases that weakens the victims with fever and coats their body with blisters. Okay. If I had the dream. Alright, I guess we should head there now.